Gavin Newsom, as we said, second day in South Carolina. I think by most measures, he had a successful first day, pretty well attended events. He was late for things, but not Bill Clinton late, just an hour late. And maybe best of all for him, he got a very warm reception both in the event itself. He did with Representative Clyburn, so-called Kingmaker of the Palmetto State, as well as a Clyburn appearance on CNN. Clyburn treated him openly like he was a presidential candidate. He said, "I feel good about his chances." And here is Clyburn speaking at an event with Newsom. 106, please.
And we cannot just focus on the presidency. We got to build a foundation. So as we go around welcoming these candidates who are running for president, let's not forget about school boards. Oh, yeah. Let's not forget about school boards.
All right, you can dump out of that. Dump out of that. Pretty good Chaplin-esque physical humor there. Here's Clyburn later in the day appearing on CNN, giving the Clyburn housekeeping seal of approval to the gentleman from California.
Do you believe he is an effective messenger on behalf of the Democratic Party?
Oh, yes, I do. He's been there for some time now. Gavin Newsom has established a record in California that's enviable. He's been around the country over the last several years, carrying the message of the Democratic Party. And I think he would be a viable candidate going forward if he were to run. And so I do think that people are listening to him, and they are listening to the Democratic Party in a big way.
All right, that's a pretty warm embrace from the person in the party literally you most want a warm embrace from. We talked yesterday about how South Carolina's got the best chance of it, probably any state, of being high in the order of voting. And here is 1 minute of the man himself after his 3,000-mile trip. And again, he did a ton of events, but here's 1 minute of Gavin Newsom in South Carolina.
I come from a small state on the west coast of the United States. Our state of mind is pretty simple. We're the most un-Trump state in America. That's a point of pride. Point of pride. I confess that. If you didn't know that, just want to let you in on a little secret. I'm not his favorite politician in the country, you know, nor on Fox News, or One American News, or Newsmax, or any of the other networks, Sinclair. I mean, it's actually, yeah, why the hell did you invite me? We cannot let him win. We cannot allow him to win. So that's why I'm here. That's why I'm here. You have agency. You can shape the future.
So, Sean, if you take the number of votes that Donald Trump got in California in 2024 compared to the population of Rhode Island, how do those numbers compare?
Give me the math again. If I take the number,
what's the number of Republican votes Donald Trump got in California, and how many people total live in Rhode Island? Because he said on the most,
just below. I said this is a very Tucker question.
Yes. You're right. 1.2 million people live in our tiny little state of Rhode Island. Trump got 6 million votes in California.
Yeah.
So when he says it's the most un-Trump state, I don't know what metric he's using. In any event,
percentage, I'm sure.
In any event, Dan.
Yeah. But can I? By the way, hold on. I just want to say what you got to pay attention to what he said at the end. We've got to fight Trump. Blah 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 blah. That's why I'm here in Kershaw, South Carolina.
Exactly.
What for what?
Yeah.
Like, what was the it's so blatant. I give the guy credit, but it's just so blatant. He's like, I'm not running for president. I just happen to be here in Kershaw, South Carolina on a friggin' Tuesday to fight Donald Trump on an issue that there's
coast to coast.
To fight him on.
Dan, if you were in the Bruce Lindsay role, which is you're the elder statesman who travels with the candidate, and after the event ends, you're supposed to, in the car to the next event, tell him how he did. Yeah. Oh, you're on fire. What would you say? What critique would you give Gavin Newsom based on that minute?
He did a great job. I mean, look, you got to win the primary before you win the general. And the first thing right now in a crowded pack is starting to kind of break out a little bit, get your name out there, build some buzz. He's doing it. Like, we can all debate, is it a good general election message? California is the most un-Trump state. I'm not the favorite of Fox News. But those are great lines. Compare that to Joe Biden, we would all laugh, and compare it to Kamala Harris, who is very stilted and awkward.
Yeah.
He's smooth. He's comfortable. He looked like he's having fun. I cannot underestimate how big a deal what Jim Clyburn said is. The number of text messages that I got, I was not watching all day that, and my phone started going off. Did you just see what Jim Clyburn said? I guarantee you, in Harrisburg and Denver and Springfield, Chicago, people are like, WTF.
Yeah.
I will say this I may be really good at predicting Democratic primaries, but I'm not sure that I'm the person that anyone on that side cares about. I will say, to me, having Jim Clyburn say the words that he did about Gavin Newsom will resonate well beyond South Carolina and be crucial among the black voters that make up a key constituency. So if you're going to have one, I mean, that to me, that in itself, you get in the car, I don't care if you're Bruce Lindsay or Bob Smith, you're going to say, boss, getting Clyburn to say those things was a huge win.
Well, and look, he didn't just say them. He went on television later and talked more about him. I mean, that is not
and he called Kamala Harris his girl, right? Didn't you know what he said? Like he's doing this without knowing. Yeah.
We're getting breaking news. The White House is waiving the executive privilege for the former Biden doctor to testify.
Yeah. I'm not sure he'll care about that because it's not about the executive privilege, but you know what I mean? It's a doctor patient.
Well, that's that.
Let's get back to Gavin Newsom. Don't change that.
Exactly. Anyway, I'll say I agree. Of course, I agree with you about Clyburn. I still don't think he's going to run, but I'll tell you what I don't. With that performance,
how do you go to Kershaw County for 2 days and not say I'm going to run? I don't get that one.
It's testing. I will say that what that performance reminds us of is something that I continue to say, which is this field is big and overrated. You have to be an aircraft carrier to do this. He is smooth. He's polished. He knows how to go into any room. And most of these other people do not. So if he does run, he's a first tier candidate. And I'm not sure who else is in the first tier besides Buttigieg. He's not running.
Mark, hold on a sec, because you just said he's testing. If you go to South Carolina and you get a reception like that, you get like that, and you get Jim Clyburn all but leaning into
call his daughter and ask her if she wants him to run.
So if I am applying for a job and all the pieces are there, don't you turn to your family? And
you turn to your family and say, we got to relocate to Cincinnati for 3 years, and if we get a promotion, then you're going to be trailed by Secret Service for 4 years.
Why would you even test the waters if the decision is there?
Because life and families are filled with ambiguities. That's why.
Look, I'm sorry. I can't. He got a great reception, and I've seen enough. Joe Biden ran knowing how screwed up his family was, and he still did it. These guys who are at that level are willing to overlook a lot when it comes to their family and everyone else.
I totally agree.
Those are so damn big.
I need to be on a show with less cynical people.